Evil lurks in the mind of a man.
What's up, guys and ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Action Figure Prop Shop. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to make blood effects using hot glue for your action figures. And this would be great for toy photography, displaying, stop motion, etc. And this is a video I did back in 2015, Action Figure Prop Shop number 4, but I think I have a better recipe to get you a better looking blood effect. Alright, so kicking it off, you want to get a piece of parchment paper, and you want to tape your parchment paper down as best you can to a sturdy surface, like a piece of cardboard. In this case, I use a cutting board. I use this cutting board for a lot of projects. If you can't tell, it's got a lot of wear and tear on it. And then sometimes, the tape's not going to hold as good to the parchment paper, just because, stuff's meant not to stick on it, but just do the best you can. And then I got my glue gun right here, and then start making glue designs. So what you can also do is if you have a specific blood design that you want to do, you can get a Sharpie. I'd recommend using a Sharpie, and then you can actually draw it out on the parchment paper. I'd recommend using a red Sharpie, because what's going to happen is the ink's going to just be sitting on top of the parchment paper, and then the glue's going to take the ink with it. So if you use, say, black, you'll have black on the back side. So red, you're going to want to go with red, since this is blood effects, and we're going to be painting it red. Alright, so you got your random glue designs. Just give them a couple minutes, let them dry, and then we'll check them out. And when the hot glue's all dry, they just come right off. You can just slide them off or peel them off. They should come up pretty easy. And if any of the hot glue pieces have like the hot glue hair, like string on them, you can easily just kind of pluck those off. Or to be more precise, you can get like a box cutter or an X-Acto knife or a blade and kind of trim them up a little bit. So here's the hot glue blood effects all dried up. We got the pool, and then a bunch of splatters. These three I like the best. I got the little trail, the little splatter, and the larger splatter. So I'm going to paint these ones up and show you guys how I do it. So if you guys remember Action Figure Prop Shop number 4, how I show you how to make blood effects using hot glue, before I used spray paint and spray sealer. Although that was easy and it looked alright, it didn't give like that translucent kind of actual blood effect. It just turned these red. So I found out about this. It's Citadel Technical Paint, Blood for the Blood God. Now the way this dries, and it even comes out of the pot, it looks just like real blood. My friend Michael Wisman showed me this stuff, and it works great. It's good for customs, it's good for props, pretty much anything you want to look like real blood, this stuff works perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a layer. I'm going to put one layer on there, let it dry, and then I'm going to do 2 like really thick layers. So you're getting that base layer on there because the hot glue is a really smooth surface. So once you get like 1 or 2 layers on there, you can start building, and it actually looks good. Like right now, that looks kind of trash. It's not really even. It doesn't really look too hot. But once you get more layers on there, it looks good. So I'm going to let these dry and then keep adding more layers to it. And you can see this stuff, it looks like blood. So the Blood for the Blood God, you should be able to get it like at your local comic book store. If they sell the Games Workshop's paints or any Citadel paints. That's where I pick it up from my local comic shop. They should have it online too. And like I said, it's a Citadel technical paint. So you can see this is one with the base coat. You see it's not even, super translucent, doesn't really look like blood. It looks kind of gross. But it has that base coat that we're looking for. So I'm going to get a lot on my paintbrush here. And I'm just going to apply like a thick layer. You're almost like not brushing it on. You have it on so thick that it's literally like attached to it. It kind of just gets drawn to it because it's about to drip off your brush almost. So it goes on real thick. It takes a lot longer to dry, but once it does dry, it looks real good. So you can see I'm barely brushing it on. I'm getting big old globs of it. So it's good to do a bunch of these because it's going to take a while to dry. So we'll go ahead and let that dry. And then make sure to move it from your spot. because if it will stick to it, because the paint will stick. Like I have this is just like a thick piece of cardboard. It will stick to there, so you kind of want to push that off. So I got a bunch of finished ones right here. So these ones, I did the base coat, I did a thick coat, and then I did another coat. So this is 3 coats, and it looks good. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Action Figure Prop Shop. Go ahead and check out some of my other videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. So you can see how translucent it is. It's not even. Looks pretty crusto, but I'm going to. Speaking of crusto.